All right.
How are you?
I'm well. How are you doing today? Today.
I'm doing good. A
Now
little
you,
better than the past 2 days.
okay. Um, I have to ask you about the presents first because today is a new day. It's almost like when we're in school when the teachers are like, we're going to start everyone off with an A. Everyone starts off with an A.
Yeah, that's true, I guess.
Yeah.
I mean, every day is a new opportunity to do something
Mhm.
different
Right.
or that you wanted to do.
Right. Thank you for joining me here. I truly appreciate it. I just want to have real conversations with community that want to be heard. Like, seriously, this is your platform. I mean, I'm the host, but this is your platform. So if at any given time someone asks you about living with diabetes or any other health condition, you can just share with them a link. Be like, click on this link instead of having to repeatedly speak about it, talk about it, which is another, yes. So, Evie, could you please give our audience a summary of who you are?
Yes, I'm Evelyn Pellegrino. I'm 30. I've had diabetes since I was 9. I live in Miami, Florida, and I'm self-employed right now. I have my own pet sitting company. So I'm very active and I work out a lot, like 4 days a week, 5 days a week. Try to make my own foods. I love the beach and animals. My whole personality is not just diabetes. It gets so annoying that at some point you stop making it seem so complicated and you kind of make it quick and easy. Like, yeah, it's just this, and this. And then the people think, oh, they're fine. Like, we're not struggling.
Right. I mean, it's an all day, every day process. There's not 1 second that our diabetes is not basically laying out the plan and play for our lives. Like when you're sick, people are like, go take a nap. And it makes us cut our eyes at them like, what you trying to do to me?
Go
Yeah,
take a nap.
right. Right.
The only person who can say that is probably my mom.
Because she probably knows you maybe
Yeah.
equal to or maybe even more than yourself.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
Evie, you probably don't recall. You have to recall this, but one of the main, like, I guess reasons, like, I did initially reach out to you so long ago was maybe it was a year, it was about a year and a half ago. You were going through some trauma. You were.
I think you're talking about the first time was probably when my grandma passed away.
Yes.
And then after that, I had my accident
Hospital.
and I was in a hospital for my back.
Yes.
First, my grandma. I mean, it's tough. It's tough. Now, look, I can talk about it and I don't cry. So I'm proud of myself.
Good, because she's shining a light upon you. Like, for real. I think
I appreciate it.
Yes.
But it's so hard to go with like that's something that people don't talk about is how do you manage your chronic illness, something that you don't care about really, not as much as you care about this person that just passed away, right? So you care about this person that passed away is like your first hit of trauma, and then everything else kind of goes quiet, and you're like, what is even diabetes? Like, you don't have the energy to even be like, let me check my blood sugar, let me correct my blood sugar. Like, it was all pointless at that point.
Yeah, that emotional trauma. And I share this with even medical professionals that when someone's dealing with a chronic health condition such as type 1 diabetes, which is continuous, they should also be gifted the medical providers in mental health. Like, we should all be aligned with a mental health coach, mental health therapist, psychologists, even psychiatrists. Like, we should
that
all
should be the
aligned.
first thing too.
Yes.
I agree. First you get diagnosed. The doctors don't even they don't go through every step of what your life is going to go through. So maybe even a counselor, like something cheap, maybe that
Right.
could guide you to, all right, this is a life-changing event, but it's going to be okay. And there's a huge community. Like on TikTok, for example, there's a bunch of, type 1 diabetics, and they get more advice there than they do in the doctors. So if we didn't have this community, half of us would be still in the dark. So they should definitely like guide us or find a counselor. Like when I was first diagnosed, I was given like like an endo, and then I was with like a diabetes nurse, and she was very smart, but she was more for the parents, because I was diagnosed little. So it was more so the focus on the parents. And they would try to teach me, but they didn't. If they were teaching me, the other thing is my mom was an immigrant. So she spoke only Spanish. And sometimes the translation wouldn't match. So I would be stuck doing things by myself. And then I'd be like, it would be chaos. And my A1C would be at 14. And they're all blaming me, thinking I'm eating candy. And I'm not, like, I don't even like candy. So them accusing me, first of all, that does enough to you as a kid, is being accused of like being a bad diabetic, or you're breaking rules. And really, you just don't know what you're doing. You're a child. Like, and if you don't, like, your parents don't know what they're doing sometimes. They're just trying the best that they can. They're not given a manual either. So it was just so difficult navigating through that. But if you're given somebody that could give you a step-by-step of like, at your own pace, also like someone you can call or text and be like, hey, I don't know how to pull this for this, or I don't know what I'm doing with this pump. Because they gave me a pump, I was 9 years old. I was like, I'm gonna eat whatever I want.
Right.
And not even candy. It was more so like my regular meals. I was just eating them, and I wasn't doing anything. I didn't know how to do it, and I was like, I'm just gonna put this. It was like a Tamagotchi for me. I was like,
Look, I was
holding a
about to say that.
Tamagotchi.
I was about to say that. It was like a Tamagotchi. Like,
We're feeding ourselves
yeah,
with this little robot toy, and I was like, I don't know what I'm doing.
keeping your little gigapet alive. Like,
I think maybe we diabetics were like what is it called? The inspiration for the Tamagotchi.
quite possibly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that also the Nintendo Dogs game. You have to keep them alive.
Keep them alive.
Gadgets. Exactly. I think that's what was the inspiration.
Now today, if they made a game like that for young people on keeping yourselves alive, like that may help. It may, especially.
I mean, what if they created a video game? Yeah, but what if they actually created like a sample of a virtual reality, but you can use it in the doctor's office, so that when you get diagnosed, you're put on these glasses of this is what your life is like. Okay, you're about to go eat a sandwich, but before you eat the sandwich, you should pre-bolus and all this, check your blood sugar, wait 30 minutes. Like, that's the reality that they want you to live, but they don't explain it or put it into action, obviously, because you're in a doctor's office. So, but it would be so helpful to have somebody with me to say, okay, you know what? I'm about to eat a sandwich, but hold on. Because it's so easy to just eat the sandwich. Like, they think everybody has self-control. Like, at 9 years old, what can you... And I went to Catholic school. Like, my mom wasn't with me at all times. Like, I wasn't homeschooled or anything. So, in Catholic school, you would think that they would be, like, on top of everything. But nobody understood about diabetes. Like, if nobody is taught, then they just are given this idea that diabetics can't have sugar. And that's about it. So
it's more so about just keeping them alive. That's it.
But even if, like, I'm low, they think I can't have sugar. And that's where the bad problem is, because now we need a nurse. Because now you're trying to kill me. Like, at that point, they're crazy. Like some people don't know anything and they're working with children. They're working like I've had some terrible horror stories here in Miami in the hospitals.
Yep, we're going to
Like
get into all of that. I don't know if you like have learned this. Like, I am big into just celebrating people. Like, I celebrate the small wins.
I see, yeah, on the group chat.
Yeah, I celebrate it all because I remember there was a time when I felt like I was alone, and that was for many years. Like, felt like I was the only person living with type 1 diabetes and going to school and handling business and all of these things and having to explain who I am so many times over. I said, we need spaces where people can just be unapologetically themselves. Because, I mean, like, even culturally, like, like when you're around family, sometimes you can just be like free and just say crap that no one else can hear, like outside of that. So like when we have these spaces, like you said early on about even having like counselors, therapists, those or needs so that we can be at our best. And again, Evelyn, thank you for joining me here because your perspective, your life, your representation truly does matter.
Appreciate
It
it. And
does.
so does everything you do. I appreciate everything you do for the diabetes community.
Look, it goes far beyond the diabetes community. That's just like a small. I do everything I can to help people lessen the burden of anything, like any lived experience. Um, you grew up in the Miami area, or did you grow up in the Miami area? I know you live there now.
Yeah, so I was born here and I was raised up until like 14. Then I went to high school in New York. So
Oh,
I lived in upstate in New Paltz. So
upstate.
I lived there for like 10 years and then I moved here.
You came back home.
Yeah, because I was cold. I hate New York. I love New York, upstate New York for the mountains. Like there's nothing that compares. I don't know if you've been to upstate New York, but it's just so beautiful. But it's just beautiful and freezing. So I didn't like that. Like the shoveling, it's just
Oh,
too
look,
much.
I strongly look, I won't ever say I hate anything, but I strongly dislike snow and shoveling. It's pretty on the image, like seriously. But
Yes, it's beautiful.
I prefer to see your background. Like I prefer to be
I know.
there. Look, I would even prefer to be there and cold than here in this daunting snow and ice because we're dealing with snow right now, and I'm
Uh,
outside of Philadelphia, but like you grew up in upstate New York, which is, I mean, it's
it's very close.
similar to like
Yeah.
the Poconos,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
like I'm very familiar with that climate. I mean, it can be fun sometimes, but it's not fun all the time.
Do you know how to like snowboard and all that stuff?
I have snowboarded before. I don't
That
know.
makes it a little more like
But it's not,
okay.
yeah, but it's not like something you could do every day. And
No.
like
Exactly.
I've seen you on a skateboard.
Yes. I
Yes,
do. I go longboarding and paddleboarding. I do every activity I possibly can do.
right. I mean,
I've gone roller skate. I mean, this last time I went longboarding and there's a road called Venetian and it connects South Beach and downtown Miami. So, and it's like a locals road, but the rich people live there. So it's safe. So I was longboarding and then I dropped something. I don't remember. I think it was like my test strips because right now I'm just using a regular glucometer and I have them all over the place. Like I'm not organized. So I carry it on the outside pocket of my backpack. So if I fall or something, it could just come out. So it did. And I didn't realize that I had lost it. So I had to go back looking for it, and then I busted my ass. In front of the police and everything, I fell backwards like this. And I got up in 1 second because my longboard, I don't know if you longboard, but they're pretty expensive. So I was like, I didn't want it to get hit by a car. I dropped my phone and everything, and I was just, I need to get my longboard.
Your longboard was
Funny,
more important.
Yes, than my phone, than everything.
Because of the expense of it.
Well, yeah, but also I've had it for like 5 years, so I'm like,
You're
I don't
in
want to
love with
lose my
it.
longboard.
You're in love with that longboard. This is a longboard love story.
Yeah, but it was just so ridiculous as I felt like it was just how fast I fell. I felt the police they were laughing at me. They were standing there laughing at me. And then I'm like, I got up in 1 second. I started just booking it for my longboard. But anyway, yeah, I am always chaotic. There's always something happening.
But what I see is that you're always having fun, or you're always trying.
Yes, I'm big on that.
That's. It seems like that's the only goal, is to like live freely, have fun. If anyone or anything is deterring that, you're like, go on, like.
Yes, 100. Even in relationships, if I'm with somebody who will stop me from having fun, then I'd be like, all right, bye. I have to go. Because if diabetes has taught me anything, is to have fun when I can have it. So if I'm not low, I'm gonna go have fun, because life is short, and that's the only thing that I have learned with diabetes. Like, I have passed out, I've had sepsis, like a bunch of nonsense things, but diabetes just makes it worse. Just like, you could have something so small like an ear infection, and then diabetes is gonna make it a lot. This is gonna ruin it for you if you don't take care of yourself and do things the way you're supposed to do them. It's gonna get it worse. So I learned from being in the hospital, and just when you're in a hospital for like a week, I don't think people without diabetes, I feel like, are not normally in a hospital for like a week, as opposed to us. Like, a lot of us have been there for weeks when we got diagnosed, or like if you get DKA, and then every procedure is different. But whenever I would get DKA, they wouldn't give me food. They wouldn't give me water. They had me on ice chips for like 3 days. And then I'd be like, once you get out of there, you're like, wow, I'm so grateful that I have a longboard, that I can go outside.
Oh my gosh. Evie, you're truly trying to title this episode Longboard Love Affair, or Longboard Love Story. Like, 'cause that's what I have so far. I don't know if it's going to go in a different direction, but yeah, look, ain't nothing wrong with that.
It's because if you learn anything about having diabetes, I think some people take it too serious, to the point where they don't allow themselves to have fun. I've talked to so many people where they've allowed diabetes. Oh, I want to go cliff diving, but I'm scared because what if my blood sugar drops? I'm like, you're right. It's a worry to have. It's valid. It's valid to worry about it. But also, if you know that you checked your blood sugar right before, in the one split second that you're cliff diving and you're enjoying it and you're doing something you've always wanted to do, diabetes is not going to stop you in that moment. Like, you're still going to be able to do it. Afterwards, you deal with the consequences, because anything can happen. You can go cliff diving and there's a bunch of risks you're taking. Like, it's not just your diabetes. You could hit a rock. You don't know what's at the bottom of the water. Like, people think only diabetes is the problem, when it's their mentality, in my opinion, because diabetes is going to stop you if you allow it. And that's why I'm big on following what you want to do, and like not letting diabetes define you. That was huge when I was little. That's something they drilled, was like, don't let diabetes define you. You have to control your diabetes so you can define it. But sometimes it's really hard to control your diabetes.
Yeah, because it's all about truly maximizing your time. We know
Yeah.
Time here on Earth is short.
Yes.
So
Fortunately.
why would we want to live in despair, gloomy, dark days,
But
night times?
let's say it's not that they're living in despair. I've seen people online even that have this like perfectionism with their diabetes where they go up 2 points above their in range and they're like, all right, I gotta go for a walk. I gotta do something. If that's what you want to do and it's making you happy, fine. But like in most cases, I'm not on top of like watching everything my diabetes is doing and okay, I'm gonna have to stop everything I'm doing right now so I can go for a walk. Like the only time I will do that is if I'm low. Obviously, I have to eat or I have to drink something. That's fine. Just do small corrections. But like to be on, like you're kind of being chased by your diabetes. Like it's like a ghost of despair and like anxiety because it gives
Mhm.
you a lot of anxiety to be watching your sensor, to be alarmed all the time. Like, oh, it's going off. Which gadget is it? Like it's so annoying that
Go gadget.
yeah, go gadget 100%.
Mhm.
So it's so like you end up losing your personality with all of those numbers and the math and the alarms and you kind of become just a vessel. So that's what I never wanted to be. And that's why the doctors, they're not my besties. But
Look, so I've taken it upon myself over the last 10 plus years to learn and be more informed and educated than the doctors. You know how many endocrinologist teams have asked me to be a part of their teams to help with patient advocacy and things like that? And I'm like, I could do this on my own. Like, I don't need your system to tell me like what I can or can't do. Diabetes truly shouldn't be in the forefront of everything. And that's what I do, like to lessen the burden. I help people put diabetes in the background and learn it to a sense to where it's second nature, to where
yeah,
as long
you
as
can
you,
also feel it. Like
yeah.
if you're like, I mean, I've been diabetic since I was 9, so I already know if I'm feeling low or I'm feeling like I'm going high a little bit or I'm irritable, like the signs that I know to look out for. But at the same time, not everybody can do that. And some people
I'm
aren't
over
even
here doing
diagnosed.
diabetes math. Were you diagnosed in 2003?
I think so.
You said
Or
21 years
yeah, yeah.
because,
You were diagnosed 2003,
yes,
the diabetes year.
March
I
10th,
don't remember. I think mine
2003.
was in September.
So you can always contact the hospital and they get rid of typically medical records after 10 years, but they keep intake and discharge forms always.
Oh, interesting. Yeah, I never like everything from when I was a kid kind of blurred.
Blur.
So,
Yeah.
but also, do you ever feel like with the diabetes you have bad memory or memory loss?
Yes,
Okay.
that occurs with people living with diabetes. It occurs because of the roller coasters and blood sugars, and it also occurs because of the amount of responsibility we put into having to keep ourselves alive. So
Yeah.
some things, so therapist that I was seeing a few years ago, she told me she was like, put the things that are most important at the forefront and the things are secondary. If you have time for them, you have time for them. She was like, because your health, your mental well-being and physical well-being should always be at the top. That enjoy life. And she was like, because if you start worrying about everything else, you're going to start forgetting who you are. And you're going to,
Yeah.
and
That's nice.
it helps with building muscle memory. Because like diabetes, like it does make you forget things. Like, and
But you know what I looked up? I looked up the side effects of taking Lantus.
Mhm.
And that is one of them was short-term memory loss. So could it be that the same insulin that we are taking is also causing us to have bad memory? It's so
So
annoying.
if you don't know this, so Lantus is I want to say Lantus started in 1998, 99, somewhere around that time. It is one of the first 24-hour acting basal insulins. And since then, basal is like at the bottom of the 24-hour acting basal insulins. Like now you have the
Interesting.
Toujeo, Tresiba,
Yeah, I
like all
switched
of
to
those
that
things.
one to Toujeo now. And
Yes.
it's my diabetes is a lot like my insulin sensitivity is great. Maybe it's too great. But I really like with eating whole foods. I'm not going to say low carb because I love pasta and I love pizza, but I don't eat them all the time. I'm going to be honest. I eat it like maybe once or twice a month because I know, first of all, I started not enjoying the side effects of pasta after, like, and everybody gets them, like, not just diabetics, like, you get groggy, you get sleepy, and you get, like, tired, you don't want to do anything, you need to take a nap. So I started eating more like mixing the pasta with more protein, for example,
Mhm.
or protein pasta. Sometimes it's not the best, but
No,
but it's a good alternative.
have you tried cooling your pasta, like freezing it, refrigerating it, then reheating it? Because that turns that high carb into like it becomes
Sorry,
similar.
my dog.
It's fine. It becomes similar to a fiber.
Okay. No, I didn't know. But you cool it before you eat it.
Yes. Cool it before you
Okay,
eat
so
it,
like
and
a
then
pasta salad.
no. So you cool it before you eat it, and then you
Oh.
reheat it. You have to
Oh,
reheat it.
oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's okay. So you're playing with like the glycemic index, right?
Yes, you are.
Okay, that's because I read that pasta, if you eat it in like a cold pasta salad way, it also forms a different type of like nutrient, kind of like a fiber. So that makes a lot of sense. I never thought about doing that, but I will try it.
Yeah. It's actually like there's like it's true studies and nutritionists advocate for people to do this, especially people with diabetes because of those high starchy carbs, like they linger. And like
I
you
know
said,
they're so annoying. Even I like after I eat something starchy, I will do some kind of activity. So, for example, since I'm right now, I don't really go out that often. I'm just focused on the gym and like my routine. I'm kind of creating a way so that I eat carbs and then I go to the gym, right? So I'll have my carby lunch for leg day. And I have 2 leg days a week. So I'm getting the pleasure of eating the carbs without the grogginess that I hate. So I feel like I'm beating the system a little bit. It's my hack, but
we all have our
except for when,
hacks.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. You have to just play around with your diet, play around with what works for you, because not everybody likes to work out or go to the gym or like be active. So they got to find other ways to be able to consume what they want.
Right. And no two people living with type 1 diabetes are the same. We carry similarities, but our hormonal imbalances truly are different. The way adrenaline affects one person, it may affect another person a different way. Anxiety, you being a female, menstrual cycles, I don't have that problem. Um, So during menstrual cycles, that creates like insulin resistance.
Mm-hmm.
And
For me, I get insulin sensitivity. So when I am
okay,
about to get my period, my Toujeo drops from like 16 to like 10.
gotcha. And is it like that during the entire cycle? Because
Yeah.
I've heard of it
Towards
during.
the like day 4 or 5, I can start putting a little bit more regular insulin, but I always have to lower it because like today I woke up low and yesterday I didn't put Toujeo. Like sometimes I'll skip a day of Toujeo because it like lingers in my body. And if I'm very low on insulin or like my insulin resistance or sensitivity, then I don't need extra Toujeo. I don't know how to explain it. It's like the
Look,
Toujeo lasts
I'm
more than
trying to
24
understand
hours.
you because you're telling me that you can go a day without basal insulin, and
Yes.
that is your blood sugar staying steady,
Not
one
even steady, like
one
going low.
like lower than 80.
Yeah,
Okay, then that would tell me that your Toujeo
it's
probably
too
needs
high.
not. It doesn't always say that it's too high because that Toujeo breaks down, it crystallizes and breaks down over time. So it may give you too much at one point, and then later on you'll notice you're high.
Hold on.
Did
Gotta introduce Marley.
you say Marley?
Yeah, like Marley and me.
Got you.
That's the inspiration. Also, Bob Marley and his birthday's on 420.
Yes. And Bob Marley's birthday is February the 6th.
Oh, interesting. I didn't know that.
Yep. Yep. So I just want to do a quick. I just had to insert this very quickly before we go on. So we're talking about basal, the math behind basal insulin. So it's your total daily dose of insulin, um, plus your weight. So your weight would be, let's say you weigh 120 pounds. We divide that by 4, and that would get you at say 30 total units of insulin per day. That would be your basal and your bolus. That's the simple math that endocrinologists, diabetes educators,
Wait,
all of them.
I didn't know this math. Okay,
th-
my
th-
weight. I'm writing it
So
down.
okay,
Weight
so your weight divided by 4 will be your total daily insulin. That
daily
that
in all of
yeah,
it.
yeah. So and to get your basal is typically 40 to 50 or well 40 to 60% of your total daily insulin. So let's say again if you weigh 120 pounds, 40 to about 40 to 60% would be between 12 to 18 units. So typically those.
That's crazy. I was taking like 30 units to
Oh
jail
no.
at one point.
Mm. And I'm like, I don't know your weight. You don't have to tell me that. But I'm like,
That's already off.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
That's what
I
my
don't.
doctor was telling me, but I was like, there's something wrong then. Why is like my insulin, my blood sugars were still high with that 30. And you know what I did to change it?
What did you do?
I switched from pen needles to syringes.
Got you. To be more
I was
precise.
using those pen needles. Yeah. But for some reason, every time I injected them, there was leakage. It would come out. So I would be like, all right, I know I'm not getting the dirty units. That's
Mhm.
why every day my blood sugar was different. So now I started using longer syringes and it was a game changer.
If you
Pretty
need
much cut it down by half.
if you need longer pen needle caps, I can send you some. Because I have all
See, I
different
mean, the
sizes.
doctor was saying that, but I don't know. Now I just don't even trust them anymore. Because, like, when I was like putting it in, I'd feel like I don't know. I don't trust them. I trust the
Right.
syringes. I'm like, okay.
Do what's best for
Because,
you.
yeah, I feel like that's not pushed often. Like, it's always about the next best thing. Like, oh, there's now a Dexcom G7, and now there's going to be a G16. Like, who knows what, right?
Right.
And they always pushing on, oh, it's new. new technology, better for your diabetes. But if you don't get the basic concept of your diabetes, adding these gadgets will just complicate it.
Right.
And then you're going to be just what I was doing before with my pump when I wasn't understanding it or how to manage my diabetes. I was thinking, oh, I have a pump. I can do whatever I want. Like, whatever. I'm just going to do this.
And many people come into diabetes believing that, or even people who've lived with it for 20, 30 years because who have never used a pump. They're like, oh, they say this pump is going to make me better. Blah, blah, blah. It's all about basal. Once your basal is good for you, then everything else will be so much easier. Because with a steady basal rate, then that means at night you will have less lows, less highs, less fluctuations. Because I mean, like you said, like you were taking 30 units of basal insulin. That tells me that whoever your provider is didn't they misconstrued with the 30 units were. Instead of 30 units of basal, they should have said 30 units of total daily insulin. And then they should have been like, okay, let's take that 30 and divide it by half. So divided 50% would be 15. And then from that 15, you should know that your basal is 40 to 60% of that half. So it should have been between like 12 to 18. Like
even now that I'm putting 16 units, it's too much because given the math you're doing, I'm not putting the other insulin. Fast acting, I'm not putting like another 15 units, let's say. Like I'm not putting almost anything of fast acting insulin because it drops me so quick, which means the long acting is too high.
Right. So that tells me that 16 units, start bringing it down to 15. Then because 1 unit of basal, it may not seem like a lot, but it is a lot, especially for someone who's smaller, because I see it in children all the time. Children who take maybe like 7 to 8 units of basal, and it's based on like their body composition. If they add a whole nother unit, if they even add half of a unit, that's why most of those parents do use those junior pens or syringes.
I need one of those. I need junior syringes. I'm going to show you my syringes are by 2. And it's crazy because the last time I went to see the doctor, I said I needed half units because even putting 1 unit is too much sometimes. So, and it's crazy when I think about it like that because I remember old Evie. And she did not think about that, anything like that. Right. She did not care. She was like, whatever. I put insulin. That's all that matters. And then I would go low or whatever. So now I'm trying, now that I finished school, which is a big stressor. Yeah, thank you. I graduated in May. I haven't posted about it.
Yeah, because I
haven't said anything.
When you were giving me a summary of who you are, I'm like, wasn't she in school? Like, I said, but I'm not going to pry into that because maybe you took a break. I don't know.
But see, I don't even identify that as like an accomplishment for some reason. I just feel like I just did it because it's like longboarding. Like I don't mention it.
You keep on saying things like it's not that big of a deal. I'm going to let you know this. It is. It is. We want to recognize you. We want to celebrate you. You should celebrate every small step that makes you be the person that you are, that journey, that path in life, all of that light that keeps shining on you and keeping you afloat and making you glow is a part of what makes you you. Like, I know education is something we all should have, but it's not something
I know, but I'm the first in my family to finish school and like to know what the hell I'm talking about because also I went to school for biology and I did a lot of like anatomy, physiology, kinesiology, all of this to learn my body and to see how I can better help it. And it has helped me with like things with my back, like my physical body, but more like with the diabetes, it's the education on that is still crap. It's still crap. They teach you the basics, and you would think, I went to school with people who are going to be nurses, people who are going to be doctors, and even in nutrition class, when they teach about diabetes, the lady, oh my God, the teacher asked me, or professor, she asked me directly to share my A1C.
Serious to the class?
Yes! I was like, no, I'm not
No.
comfortable sharing my A1C with you so everyone here can judge me. They don't even have diabetes. They don't know what it's like. Like,
Right.
what?
Right.
Why would, like, I don't know what she was expecting me to have A1C of 5, but I'm sorry.
I have never ever asked anyone to share their A1C, even if I'm helping people manage. Like, I've never said, like, share your A1C. That's just one number.
Exactly. What do they
This
know?
is forever. Like, forever. Let's figure out what makes you spike. Let's figure out how much insulin you need. Let's do those types of things. And your A1C is just a number. Like, seriously. Seriously.
I know.
I don't pay attention. I know what my A1C is, but I don't pay attention to it because, like I said, it's in the background now. Like I've, I've learned my diabetes. I've relearned it and keep relearning it. Like it's
always changing.
Yeah, it's always changing. It's about again.
But also, what do you think about? Okay, I don't know how to explain it, but I don't feel like having a basal that is always the same works for me. So changing the basal, which I know it would seem easier on a pump again, but the problem for me with the pump is that you only get one type of insulin. So I was getting, because when you have the pump, it's giving you a basal, but the basal is like hourly, it just gives you the fast acting insulin, correct?
Correct.
Yeah. So when I was on fast acting insulin all the time only, my insulin, I would get more munchies. So I would be wanting to eat a lot more. For some reason, I don't know if it's just me or like putting insulin makes me hungry. So I was getting insulin hourly and then I would want to eat hourly and then it would just create a more toxic cycle. With the 2JO and when I've switched to long acting, I've been able to control my appetite more and not have those like munchy moments where I'm like, oh, I'm just going to snack. I don't know if that makes any sense. It could just be me, but
it makes hella sense because Abby, you're a type 1 diabetic. You've been living with it for 21 years. This is something that many people living with type 1 diabetes do not know. When our pancreatic islet beta cells stop functioning, insulin is the major hormone that we lose, but also there's amylin. Amylin is a hormone.
Yeah. Makes you hungry.
Makes you hungry. So if your body isn't producing enough insulin, you're going to be even more hungry. Yeah. So that may have meant that during certain times you weren't getting enough insulin. So your body was craving food. And when you're talking about like the fast acting on an insulin pump, always remember that the basal profile you have, let's say at 12 a.m., you're getting 0.75 units. Those 0.75 units aren't showing up at 12 a.m. They're showing up at 2 a.m.
Yeah.
So it's that whole mental game. Diabetes educators, they try to skip it when they're talking to you because they think it's too much. It's better to give me the information than for me to have to go out and seek it as a person living with the chronic health condition, because we already got so many other things in our bag that's keeping it full. Like I can't put it, like, give me the information and let me decide.
I
Let
know.
me decide. And you being
But
the
I like this, the way that you go into technicalities, like with the equations, because they do show you the equation. But if you're on a pump, they don't explain that to you. And then you are screwed out of a pump, it breaks, and then you're like scrambling. And then when I was a kid, it was terrible. My pump, I had Medtronic. It would break all the time. And then I would be calling my doctors at 1 a.m, like, I don't know how to do the math. What am I supposed to do now? How am I supposed to put the insulin? And then my mom would be there, like, because she didn't speak English. So I'd have to be the translator between like my own self and the doctor. And my mom is just being a bystander, just trying her best to understand what's happening. But it was so intimidating also because you're explaining to them what happened and then they're like, you should know this. You should have it written down already. You should have this. And then I'd be like, this, all right, well, you're berating me. And now I hate my life and I hate having diabetes.
and I'm sitting down in this chair and my blood sugar is raising.
Exactly.
Like it's I mean rising. It's like steadily rising because of like how they're speaking to you, how they're talking to you. You get anxious when you go in there. Your adrenaline starts pumping.
Exactly.
Like, am I going in there for a fight? Like, I don't want to
They're
fight you.
terrible.
I don't.
No, sometimes, okay, I'll give you a little. This last time I went to the doctor's was very scary because I had posted it. It was when I went to the optometrist, and the optometrist said that I was starting to have some blood in the back of my eyes. So then I'm like thinking, all right, well, I have to prepare, but now I can't be a vet and I'm not going to go to vet school because that's my goal, is to like eventually
You
go to
can
vet
and you
school.
will.
Well, listen, internally in my head, this is all the things I'm like freaking out about. And I'm like, here I am as a woman, I'm thinking I need to find a provider, man, and not have to be a stay-at-home wife because I'm not going to be able to see anything. And I'm
Oh
thinking, and
man.
you know me a little bit to know that I'm very independent. So I like to, just do whatever I want, whenever I want to do it. So then just having to think I'm going to go blind and I'm not going to have anything and I don't know anybody and what am I going to do? And then when I posted it, so many people started responding to me saying, oh, I got this news like 2 years ago and I was able to like stabilize it and it's fine. And also like catching it early on, doing the like wearing glasses, because I had glasses, but I never wear them. And now I have a new prescription, so I'm going to get new ones and I'll be more adamant about wearing them, obviously. And it was just like, they give you that news and like the doctor just says it like, oh yeah, you can lose your vision. And I'm like, are you telling me I'm going to go blind in just a 15-minute conversation and then you're going to let me out the door? And here I am going to find out that it could or could not be as serious as my brain is making it. So it's so annoying to think that. And then after I leave that office, after I posted it, the next day I went to go get a thyroid ultrasound. So
Do you have hypothyroidism?
I don't right now, but I do have problems controlling my emotions. So I get very overstimulated very quickly. And I get mad very quickly or sad very quickly. Everything is like traumatization in my brain. So that's why they think maybe it's a thyroid problem. So I got the ultrasound, but they didn't make it easy. Like I go to the hospital because it's in a hospital setting where I have to get the ultrasound. And I go to a receptionist and she's telling me, oh, it's going to be $170. And I'm like, damn, okay. All right. I have to pay it. So I did. I pay it. And then she goes, oh, you have a debt here of $12,000. You're going to have to make a payment. I'm like, a payment on $12,000? I just made a payment on the 171. And she's like, you're going to have to put a card on file. I'm like, when was that? When is this bill from? And she's like, oh, it's from 2018. And I'm like, I don't have $12,000. And I recall when I stayed there, they took care of the problem that I went for, but they didn't take care of my diabetes. And I like, if it's a malpractice thing, I'm like, I'm not going to pay off that medical bill when we go into the emergency room with a problem that has nothing to do with our diabetes, but then you make it so that it's our problem with diabetes. Like, why is that? Like, I went in for something completely unrelated. When I was in the hospital during that time, my blood sugar was at 55. I tell the nurse my blood sugar's low. She's like, I'm not scheduled to come in for another 30 minutes. So I said, oh, I'll be dead, but all right. Like, and they want me
That's
to be
crazy.
paying $12,000. I'm like, you guys do half the job. You cannot be charging me to almost kill me. Like, and it takes 1 second. Like, it's not. But anyways, so the lady's telling me I owe $12,000, and I'm like, listen. And I'm starting to get flustered and like overwhelmed, and I'm starting to shake like this, and I'm like, I don't know what you want me to do right now. And she's like, I just need a card on file. I'm like, I'm not gonna put a card on file for $12,000. Are you crazy? Like, when am I gonna finish paying that? You could charge me the $12,000 in one sitting even, and I wouldn't know, like, until I check my card. I'm not stupid. So
She's trying to make you leave that hospital and go out and be a streetwalker. Like,
exactly. So I'm explaining to her, I'm like, it's not, and every time I talk, she would cut me off and see, this is my job. I have to tell you. And I'm like, I understand you're doing your job, but, and then I started saying, we're coming in here because we're sick. You cannot be arguing with me. I'm sick. What if I have a thyroid problem and I do get angry easily and I do have overstimulation problems? She's making it so that I never want to come back. And it's a hospital. It's not a hotel. It's not like I can just go to another one and be like, oh, whatever. Because the thing is, a lot of these people make it so that you don't want to go back to the hospital. They make it so it's a bad experience. And I wanted to talk about this because I did file a complaint on that lady because I was so flustered afterwards, and I hate filing complaints. But when I did talk to the lady of guest services, she said, it's unacceptable for her to treat you like that because you're right. We're sick and we already don't want to go there. We already don't want to be in the hospital. Like, we're getting bad news in most cases. So why is it that lady that she's a receptionist? She takes it upon herself to like complicate things or make your life just a little bit harder when it's already hard for all these people that are in the hospital. So I'm like,
she should have been listen to you first instead of saying, this is my job. Listen to the person that, I mean, seriously, you gave her that job.
but that's what I'm saying. She wouldn't be there without us.
Yes, if it wasn't for the patients, that like the people that come in there, then the job wouldn't exist. And she needs to understand that. Like,
but that's why I want to say that if other people, because other people won't go to guest services, they won't file a complaint. But we need people to do it because I'm not trying to get her fired or ruin her life.
right.
She just needs to learn to have more empathy, to be understanding that when you're working in a hospital, it's not a hotel. Like, nobody's there because they want to be there. We're getting bad news in most cases. We're nervous. Like, and plus in a hospital, most times it doesn't make it easy to find where you're going. Like, you get lost. You're like, oh, there's this hallway, now go down this hallway. Like, people are flustered. It's normal. They just relax, you know? And also, if you can complain about it, do it, because people like her need to understand that if they keep doing that, you know, it's going to ruin everybody who's sick. It's going to make them not want to go back. And then you could be more sick.
Well, right. And when you're telling that, I'm up here thinking like, okay, yes, Evie, get it all out right then and there. Because if you don't, it's going to affect you the remainder of the day. Like, truly,
That's true.
Like, you're going to be thinking about it. and your blood sugar is
Yeah.
going to know about it. Like,
I told
seriously.
her that. I was like, I have diabetes and you are making me very nervous right now. I feel like I'm going low. And I was shaking it again. So I didn't know if I was low or if I was nervous. So I was like, actually, I'm gonna check my blood sugar. And I just like pull everything out right in front of her. I checked my blood sugar and I was at 130. So I'm like, oh, thank God. But guess what? I spiked afterwards, of course, because I was nervous and I was going through all that turmoil. So like they don't understand. I mean, it's no one else's fault that I have diabetes. But at the same
It's not your
time,
fault either.
I appreciate that. I always forget. But yeah, it's crazy. Because the
Yeah.
Spanish community, like Hispanic community, they're very, you are your own reason you're sick. So
It's not your reason. It's not your fault.
you don't even know.
And look, Evie, I do this as someone who has worked as a mental health therapist. Um, Let me take this time out to have a conversation with your family, with your community. Um, Evie was diagnosed with type 1 diabetes at the young age of 9 years old. I mean, in some cultures, some communities, they feel as though that's like like transitioning into adolescent years, but it's not. At 9 years old, Evie was still a baby. She was someone's baby, and she should have continued to be nurtured and given the just the truth and belief that she's going to be able to become everything that she wants to be in life, and that she would have the guidance, support, protection, resources, so that she could be the best version of herself. When she was given diabetes, it wasn't because of anything that she did. She could have ate the whole bag of Halloween candy. That wouldn't have gave her diabetes. This is an autoimmune condition, meaning that somewhere along our journey, our body attacked itself. Nothing that
Do
she
you
did.
know? Do you know? My mom was very, how you're saying, but we were also Catholic. In the Catholic Church, they believed I did something or something was done to me. And so I needed to forgive whatever had happened to me in order to be cured of diabetes. So my mom actually would take me to a bunch of different like churches and reunions, even like Christian churches where you do like where they have like convulsion moments and like they throw people on the floor. They've done all of that to me. Like this thing about faulting you for diabetes, like even recently, he's not my ex, but like his mom would also believe the same thing. And like it's recent, like this was within like
Mhm.
2 years. So and then she would like bring in a negative connotation to like insulin, like why do you need insulin? Why are you using so much insulin? And she wouldn't understand, like
And that
I
I
don't
know
have a
that
choice.
that had to affect your relationship as well.
A hundred. I mean, this
Like,
kid. Oh,
people
it
don't
was so
realize
annoying.
that while they're talking to you and sharing all of those things, their body is automatically producing insulin, and it's a smarter insulin that that
Exactly.
can turn on, shut off, give increments. I can't do
I had
that.
to explain that.
I can't do that. Like,
Exactly.
when you're sleeping, when you're in the shower, when you're eating, all of those times, like
No, but you're in
insulin,
Miami. In
insulin is
Miami,
happening.
in Miami, they believe science is not real sometimes. We have the science is fake people here, and you cannot convince them. They don't know what's happening in their bodies. Let's just say that. They don't know what's happening in their bodies. Little do they know what's happening in someone else's body. So
Right.
you try to explain from scratch. You're like, okay, who do you know has diabetes? They'll be like, my grandma and my husband. And I'm like, why do they have diabetes according to you? And it's because they're older or they're big. So I'm like, all right, they have type 2 diabetes. All right, ready for this? I have type 1.
Evie.
I'm like, completely different.
Evie, what you're doing right now, I can see this like on a media platform, like how you're talking to people and being natural. Like, what's going on? How are you like explain? Like, you're truly explaining like why people should think more, be more involved, should not be cemented in their thoughts. They should exercise those thoughts. Like the way you're speaking, I would love to see this on a platform. Like you telling people because you're animated. And I put on the top of a page I wrote Inside Out because when you're telling me the different emotions, everything about diabetes and yourself, I was like, this is like the movie Inside Out because you were like you were smiling. You
I'm
were
very
just
animated.
and I love that. I love that. I truly do. It truly is you being authentically you.
You know what? Maybe we could do a TED Talk one day. They have them at my university. They do TED Talk X Berry. So for the university itself.
Do it.
So I'm thinking maybe I just get very shy in front of a lot of people.
I'm telling
like even just talking to you, I'm like shaking a little bit.
I hope
and I'm covered in sweaters.
Look, I hope that I've made you more comfortable throughout the process of having this conversation, because that's a gift that I have, and I let people know that I've had people with severe anxiety disorders that I've reported with, and that by the end they're like, "Will, this conversation was simply amazing. You just made me feel warm and welcome." And I tell them that's like, I mean, that's just what I'm trying to do. Anything to lessen lessen a burden that you have.
I do feel less alone when I always thought about my diabetes as nobody understands it, and I don't have the same diabetes everyone has because I always looked at everyone's graphs and compared like why is this not working for me but it works for everyone else? Like why is this not working for me? And then mostly it's because probably the doctors I've had are very traditional with their Western medicine.
They're very Miami. Like you already told me, like, oh my gosh, they're all part of the Miami Heat. Like,
no, here it's insane. But that's why I'm saying, like, also here, there's so many people. There's so many people to one endo. Like, wait, the ratio is, I've seen my endo go from somebody super bright and bubbly and trying different sensors, trying pumps, like trying different things to just see what it feels like to be a diabetic. And now she's totally drained and like dead in the eyes. And she just sees me and she's like, all right, what do you need from me? Yeah. I'm like, all right, I just need this insulin and this. But now there's new insulins like Manjaro and all this other stuff.
GLP-1s that can help with insulin resistance.
The problem with me is this. I do that all day, and I've done it all day, every day since I was little, on a pump, on different insulins, on different long-acting, everything I've tried.
Abby, do not hesitate to reach me outside of this space because I'm telling you, I've helped thousands of people. My cousin, type 1 diabetic, she went from a 17.5 A1C to under 6, has a healthy baby girl. She she had retinopathy in both eyes. They told her she was blind. I said, let me see those scans. Went through the scans, shared them with my team, people that, and she got back to 2020 vision. With a healthy baby girl, this was all in a matter of a year. 7.5 A1C. Evie. So when I was diagnosed, my A1C was a 14.7. 21 years ago,
I think
almost
mine
22.
too was 14.
For years, I don't know what my A1C was. When I go back and look at some medical records, it's like 12, 10, like 8.2. Like it was like going all around until maybe about half, like 6 years ago. I sat down and I told myself, I said, I'm going to give you some time, Will, to figure this out. And it first started with just looking at insulin and learning it and how it acts and how it changes within the body. And the first thing I looked at was basal, because when I took that Lantus, my body was all over the place all day, every day. I don't know. And I wasn't checking my blood sugar often at all. I was like, I don't need
I
to.
don't really.
I was like, and I felt like I was like, I'm good. Maybe it was because I was
Yeah,
young.
right.
Maybe because I was young and I felt like I was resilient with everything, my background, and now I'm strengthened. Like everything's good. I'm better than my past. Like I have insulin. I'm good. But after looking through everything, I was like, it's not natural for me to continuously drop down to 40s, 50s every day. It's not natural
It's
for
so
me to
exhausting.
right. It's not natural for me to be at 300 every day. Like it's not. And I said, how can I make myself, especially with the technology, with the faster acting insulins, how can I make myself equal to or better than physically and mentally than a person not living with diabetes?
I have a question though. What does your everyday look like now though? Because like, for example, they want my A1C, obviously it's 6 or whatever. Like they want everybody. But what is the average blood sugar if your A1C is at 6?
Average blood sugar, if your A1C is at 6, is about 130,
Okay.
120, 130.
Because my lifestyle is very active. So I'm a dog walker. So I'm constantly outside. I'm in the sun all day. I'm running and I'm playing, literally just always playing. And then I go to the gym, more play, and more activity. My energy levels never end. So, but that's why I enjoy running higher, because I don't have that risk of, oh, I'm going low. I need to stop what I'm doing and I need to eat something.
Have you
So
ever used an algorithm-based pump? Meaning
it's
that,
Medtronic that?
so an algorithm-based pump, Omnipod 5, Tandem with Control IQ,
No,
even the Tandem Mobi, Medtronic's 770 or 780G is an
no,
algorithm-based
that one I
pump.
didn't have.
The new one, the iLet, the Beta Bionics
I
iLet,
heard about the islet. It looks cool,
that's
but I haven't tried.
that's a automated insulin delivery system. So these with these newer pumps, they're so that you can have a target glucose at like 110 to 112, and if it notices that your blood sugar is dropping like 90 and below, it'll cut off your basal insulin or limit it, reduce it so that you can go back up to that to get back into that 110, 112 range. That's why you see people online post so much about my time and range is this now, like it's greater. It's because a lot of it is because of those algorithm based pumps are helping with that. Like you still got to do your bolus, everything, but it actually like prevents a lot of those like severe lows. And then when you're going higher, let's say you're at 160 and steady climbing, it'll give a micro bolus that will adjust it to bring it back down, tune it back down. And with that, that micro bolus tuning back down, if it starts getting lower, that basal turns off to bring you back up, to keep you in a range. It's almost like it's regulating your body and your blood sugar.
Okay. And the only problem, I'm looking at Omnipod. I
And
really hate gadgets from my other dog. I have 5 pets.
see, you know what's funny? I did not know you had all these pets. I thought you just took care of them all. Like, as your business. Like that's what I was like, oh, she.
Well, that's why I started my business. I
Mhm.
wanted to be home with my pets.
Mhm.
So I started taking care of animals. And so
Uh,
this was my first dog.
is he inside your jacket?
Yeah, she's in my jacket.
Uh,
She's keeping me warm. And I'm keeping her warm. It's so cold, but it's not that cold.
what's the temperature?
It's
Because when
not,
I got up this morning, it was 19 degrees.
no, it's like 55.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And
Give me
I
that.
still can't take it.
Well, because you're so used to the weather being a certain temperature. Understood.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Anyway.
I have a niece. She's older. My older brother. She actually lives in. Hold on. I can't remember the name of it. It's outside of Tampa where she lives, but
Like St. Pete?
mm, Pete sounds familiar. I don't remember. I don't remember
There's like a beach there, St. Pete Beach or Anna Maria Island or like Clearwater.
I don't
Anything?
know. I look. I can't remember. I'll look it up while we're talking. But she went to school to be a vet tech, and when she was younger, she always had a bunch of animals. Like she worked as a veterinary assistant at a local animal shelter, and she would just come home with dogs.
Yeah.
Like
I also worked at a shelter.
two of her dogs that she's had for over 10 years are rescues. She has them. She has two cats. She has some other animals, but and she recently had a baby a couple months, but back in October, I believe. So, like,
Aw,
yeah. And I'm looking at you with all the pets.
I
Reminds me,
know.
yeah.
But actually, my mom was also into animals in Argentina. And I didn't know until like a couple years ago. She didn't tell me all this time. I was like, I have an affinity with animals. She always had the same affinity. So it's very interesting.
Mom, let's sit down. Tell me a little bit more about yourself.
Exactly.
Let me see what else we
Like
got in common.
she had like 10 dogs in her house. I'm like, And I wonder, they think I'm crazy for having 5 pets. I'm like,
Right.
that doesn't sound so crazy.
Did you have significant other mom tell you that you can get rid of this or why ask you why? Which more than
Exactly.
likely when it comes to relationships, many people have those things. Like people always
It's
trying to butt themselves
My
into
last
business.
relationship was terrible, but even when it came to the diabetes, relationships and diabetes is so tough because you kind of have to, if the person knows nothing, you have to teach them. And then, like, sometimes they still wouldn't understand. Like, one time I was low, they offered me insulin, and I was like, that's just basic, basic information.
For a basic person.
But it's like so hard for them to to in the moment act on it, I guess. But
Yeah.
it's just hard also as a person with diabetes having patience because it's your life. Like if you were to pass out, are they going to give you insulin? Like that's terrifying to think that they'll just I don't
It,
know. It's
it
so weird.
truly, I mean, it truly is terrifying. Relationships and living with diabetes is a whole nother conversation that can go on for
Yeah.
20
But
more
again,
years.
talking about the algorithm, if
Yes,
that's what
let's
we were
get back.
talking about.
I have it down. Let's get back to, you said you were
Okay.
looking into the Omnipod, so that would be the Omnipod 5.
The only issue is me with gadgets. Sometimes I get frustrated really quickly and I will just rip them off.
Understood.
Like,
Sensory, maybe a sensory
yeah,
issue. So.
super sensory problems I have. Like, even eating, like, I won't eat ribs. I don't eat chicken. Like, just because it's messy and
Mhm.
I don't like how it feels on my hand. Like, it's so weird. But when it comes to sometimes where you put the sensor or the pump could get infected or it starts itching, it gets red. So then, or for example, sometimes I'm dancing and I feel like it's about to come off. I'm just take it off. So I'm like,
All of those
I
concerns
can't.
are valid. They truly are. And everyone should think about those things before they do transition into other things. I want to say about a year and a half, 2 years ago, I had a young lady reach out to me who was in the need of insulin, and she was in an Atlanta-based area. So I formed a group for Atlanta just because she
Oh,
reached out
cool.
to me, and she would often like send me messages about how her control was, how she's having all these issues or whatnot. And I asked her, I said, have you ever considered using a CGM and a pump? And she was like, I have so many sensory issues and concerns. And I was like, coming from a mental health background and primarily working with
Yeah.
young people, I was like, I understand. I understand. I said, but I'm just going to give you the information, the resources. If you ever choose to go that route, reach out to me and I can aid and help you. And Evie, today, when I see this young lady via social media, all I see is her showing her pump and her sensor and everything. And I'm like, I feel like a proud papa sometimes. Because
Maybe.
I'm like, yeah, I mean, she got over, or she was able to learn to deal with and accept something on her own
Yeah.
term, on her own
That's
terms.
another big thing, accepting diabetes. That I think is bigger than the sensory. Because if you can accept that you have it, especially, I mean, again, it ties into your background, your family. If
Mhm.
they're able to accept it, like if they're more forthcoming about it, then you will be. Like, in my mom, like my mom and my grandma were my biggest two supporters. So that's why I was so close to my grandma. So every time I went to a family event, my grandma made sure there was Diet Coke, that there was like something that I could eat, that because at the time I wasn't eating meat and my family's Argentinian, so all they eat was meat.
Me-
And my aunt would actually say like, "Oh, when are you gonna like get over this? Like, when are you gonna start eating meat again and like stop complicating all our lives?" And I'm like, if she feels like that about my choice to not eat meat, how does she feel about having to get like a diet soda or like accommodate to my diabetes needs? So it was that was a big factor for me to be able to accept, is just knowing that not other people are going to be able to help you with accepting it. You have to do it on your own. But having at least, somebody you can talk to about it, or like someone that you know is going to have your back, it makes it a little bit easier for me in my case anyway.
Anything we can do for each other, we should do, because literally, other than ourselves dealing with this all day, every day, no
That's
one
why it's so good to advocate
understands
about
it.
diabetes.
Nobody
Yeah,
really
exactly.
understands.
Because
And
people without it don't see how their small little comments or actions or their jokes, like, they affect everybody around them. And
right,
the thing is, in Miami, you have a big group of people who believe in you need tougher skin. Like, just get over it. Like, people are mean to you on purpose almost because they want you to have tougher skin. And they don't care about misgendering,
mhm.
or like, it's Miami's like the complete opposite of California. Florida is the complete opposite of California.
Florida and Texas are their own countries. I keep
Yes,
telling people that.
Texas as well. Yeah,
Yeah, their
like
own.
they don't believe in all that stuff. It's really hard. We have a lot of people also from other countries that come with their traditions. So it's
Just
hard to like,
as I tell people, I mean, you're going to always be your best, right? Like, tell people to lead with love, lead with compassion. Even if you don't know what that is, just stay out of it then. If you don't know it, don't try to force your own trauma on other people.
yeah,
Like,
I agree.
seriously, going to get back to the Omnipod. uh, you're thinking about the Omnipod.
Yeah, so I'm thinking about Omnipod 5
Mhm.
but they said it has to be with a certain freestyle. So I actually just talked to my doctor yesterday and she's going to order the new freestyle. But it's the cost and all that stuff because right now I had insurance and then it wasn't covering the more basic things I needed from diabetes and actually was making it more expensive. Like the Toujeo was costing like $250 for one pen. So I was like, on top of that, paying the insurance. And without it, in my clinic, they do like an income-based program.
Mhm.
So without the insurance, it would be like $40. So I was like, okay, why do I have insurance again? But it's only for like emergencies. That's the problem. Like if you're going to the emergency room, you need health insurance. I just want to find
So
the right fit.
yeah, I do know that the Omnipod 5 it works with the Libre 2 Plus.
Okay.
So yeah, but if you ever have issues with access to like pump supply sensors, let me know. Also, I don't know if you had a chance to look at the resource guide I've created where like Omnipod offers you get what is it, a month's worth of pods for $50.
Oh, no, I haven't. See,
Yeah.
I have to look
And
more into that.
even things like I know you use Libre, but like Dexcom has a patient assistant program that gives you first I think it's 6 month supplies of Dexcom sensors and transmitters for $45. Like
That's
these.
crazy because I was talking to them
Mm.
and they were not giving me those prices. And I was explaining to them the situation and everything. That's why I don't know what to do. But I'm gonna try
It
harder, I guess. I'm gonna talk to them about
it's
that.
just so much that goes into living with diabetes that you have to do. Like it's too much, really. That's why
That for
I always
sure.
say like it's better to have the information and be able to use it as opposed to not having the information, because no one's going to give it to you. And that's just
Well,
life.
you are.
I got you. We're family. Like, come on now.
Yeah.
Knock on my
Well, okay,
door.
so when you look at insurance also, I want to know what you look for to be able to make sure that they're going to cover what you need them to cover because they be lying to me. They're
They
like,
do.
yeah, we cover that. And then I'm in the pharmacy and then the pharmacist is like, no, they didn't cover that. And I'm like, yeah.
There are
So
so many layers to health insurance. It's all individual. You run your own business. I don't know if that's like a sole proprietorship or LLC or whatever.
it's an LLC, yeah.
Okay, so you get insurance through the marketplace?
Yeah, I get insurance usually through Marketplace, but I've heard that things like insurance companies, I think Geico offers the type of health insurance that I can buy for the business,
Mhm.
but it's like over 400 a month. So
Over over 400 a month, and then you got to think about your deductibles. that you have to
Exactly.
meet so that you can get
Exactly.
coverage for the technology,
Yes.
for the visits, because that's a lot more. I know that.
But it could be because I live in Miami also. So that's why I'm like, this is all just more complicated because I'm in Florida.
Right. Like even in Pennsylvania, New Jersey, many states, they have a program called like it's Medicaid, but it's for workers with disabilities. Like technically, not, I mean, we're not fully disabled, but living with type 1 diabetes is a disability. So
Yes.
all of these, like many states have that Medicaid for workers with disabilities where you pay into. So I know in PA it's like $103 per month, but you fully get everything covered. There's no co-pays for your supplies,
Damn.
for your
That's
visits.
amazing.
Like I'm not sure what it is in Florida, but I can tell you this, something that's available in Florida is Blue Circle Health. Are you familiar with that at all?
Okay. No.
Yeah, do a quick Google search of Blue Circle Health. It's for people living with type 1 diabetes, and they give you access to health clinics, access to supplies, technology, insulin, all of those things. And it's like
Okay.
it's of no cover, no charge,
Okay.
and
See?
it's available
Well,
to everyone.
we should have done this a long time ago.
I'm going to cut this part out, but I'm going to say it right now, Abby. I'm always available, and I look. I try to drop like little things, but I try not to pry. I do not love like prying because I hate people prying into my own life, to my own
I
business.
mean, I also needed to be ready for it. So I don't feel
Right.
like I was before. I was in a place of denial. I hadn't, first of all, I don't think I fully accepted my diabetes even now. Like, it's just such a annoying life ruiner. I just want to punch it in the face, you know?
Do it. Do it. Let's have that meetup where we're like killing
Let's
diabetes.
go
Like
boxing.
seriously, like destroy. Got the sledgehammer and diabetes, and we just taking it all out.
Exactly.
Taking it all out. As we do
That would be
wind
so
down
fun.
in this conversation off air, I'm always available for us. Just to let you know, I may not answer right away, but I will answer. Okay. And if you have any questions, because we went over a bunch of things, I took some notes. And if you
Me
ask,
too.
look, you can create a whole PowerPoint slide, whatever, Google Doc, share it with me and be like, Will, what else did you say? I got you. I'm going to tap into it. I promise you I will. Uh, is there anything we did not cover that you wanted to cover during this conversation? I know on your Google form, the only thing that was listed was mental health. And I tried to wrap around this whole conversation was we spoke about mental health.
Yeah. Yeah, we did.
Is there
On the
is there
emphasis on the having fun part.
look, big emphasis. And I started off with the title Longboard Love Story. I really like that. And then I put Inside Out, but I was like, that's too
You
like
are on a longboard with diabetes.
right.
It's a journey that never ends, and you're gonna fall off.
And
You're
then
gonna
you
bump your
said,
head.
look, then you said something else. You were like, I don't need no man. So I wrote that and I underlined it. I was like, I
I'm very
understand.
hyper
Like,
independent.
and that's how like life should be until you're ready to be and
Yeah,
bring someone else into this world with you. Like, do what you got to do for you.
100%.
Do what you got to do for you.
Yeah,
Seriously.
I'm heavy on understanding
Yeah.
yourself more before
Right.
because we all have our flaws.
Mhm. And that even goes with family, those who love you most. Seriously. Um, they will never understand this thing called diabetes. But look, it took me, I mean, it'll be 22 years in March. It took me probably 17 or so years before I started sharing diabetes. Like, like I even have best friends. Like my closest friend, he's like, I didn't know you had type 1 diabetes. And I'm like, Mike, come on now. Come on. Like, he's like, man, for real. He's like, I said, you didn't know. As many times as I'm like, I gotta check this or that, my blood sugar, I gotta inject insulin. He's like, I don't know what that stuff is. Like, I'm
I
like,
mean, they don't. That's the thing. They really don't.
exactly.
They have no
Like,
idea.
exactly. So
So crazy.
even if you want to just start wearing something like a patch on your arm that just says I'm a diabetic and your family sees it, like we gotta get those aunties to stop looking at you like,
Ignoring it.
yeah, like whatever,
Nah, they
Evie,
ignore
we're
it
gonna get
too.
over it. No, so they're not gonna ignore it if you're wearing the big Flavor Flav chain.
No, for sure, right? Imagine.
Right, right.
I mean,
So
it's also gonna be going off with the alarms and
right,
all
and
that stuff.
they're going to
So
have to get used to it. You're growing. You gotta. It's time to put your foot down and let people know that this is my health. This is my well-being. This is my life. I am not your little baby anymore. Like I am my own grown, maturing adult that's graduated from school, and I'm going to celebrate that. Even if you're not going to celebrate, I'm going to celebrate that. Like I'm allowed to cry in front of y'all. I'm allowed to be angry. I'm allowed to
I
show
know,
all
right?
the inner workings of my emotions, all of those things because they're part of me. They're part of you. Seriously.
It
So,
is time to put my foot
Evie,
down.
you and I both have had this hate relationship with diabetes over the years. um I don't hate it today, and I'm not burdened by it today. I don't even go through the typical burnouts anymore, and I've let people know that's because of being able to be a part of community, helping others. You know, when you help other people, like it like makes you feel so much better on the inside and all of those things. Like that's how I feel with
Yeah.
diabetes. Like I'm always smiling when I'm having these conversations. I'm never sad because I know that I can help people be their best. Uh, I truly, I'm a true empath at heart. Like I told you from the beginning, I embody the person, the people, the community, and do all that I can to keep your light shining. But Evie, who was diagnosed the same year as Will, that's a, look, 2003 and moving forward, Evie, on the day a cure that is functional and readily available for everyone is here. And we don't have to worry about none of the technology. We don't have to worry about giving insulin, all of those things, because I'm in conversations with research. I see and have witnessed and seen people go without insulin for years now. Type 1 diabetics that have been living with it for 40, 50 years. And it's the greatest thing for them. On that day, I call you up, Evie, and say, diabetes is gone. It's fully gone. Like, we don't have to worry about it anymore. And this is after we've received the cure. I'm cured. You're cured. It may take a while for us to like truly grasp that and understand that, but it'll be gone. It's gone. Not it'll be, it is gone. On that
It's
day,
gone.
Evie,
To speak into existence.
speak it into existence. Diabetes is gone from your life, from my life, from everyone across the community. We even embrace more because not only will we mourn diabetes, but we'll just embrace that now we have so much more time to our existence to just do all of the things that the nuances of diabetes do not permit because we're always on a time schedule. On
Yeah.
that day, you find out that you've fully been cured. What do you do?
I probably would go eat pasta and pizza at the same time. And then a slice of cake. And flan and a tres leches. But then I'd be like, you know what? I could do this all in one day now. As opposed to splitting it up. I feel okay afterwards. Does that make sense?
It makes hella sense, because even after you eat all that, you'll still be yourself. You'll still be
And I
you.
won't have to worry about I'm spiking or
Yeah.
no, I'm never gonna come down from this.
Right. And you can
Imagine.
still do the things that you're passionate about, like loving and caring for animals, hitting in the gym, all of those things
I would. Oh
without
my god! Yeah.
diabetes interfere. Like you can do a 24-hour workout. Like
Yeah.
literally.
Or a fast.
Exactly.
I don't know. I know this sounds crazy, but that's always something that's been talked about in the fitness community is fasting. And then I'm like, well, I'm gonna try.
Right.
Like that's my goal now is to be able to do fasted cardio. So I've been doing like little walks before making any food or anything, but sometimes I wake up low and I have to eat, you know? And I'm not gonna just, I'm doing fasted cardio, so I'm not gonna eat. No. I have to eat. So
Right. So off air, I do wanna exercise like my availability to you. So if you want to do some like basal testing,
yeah, I'd love to do that actually.
it's a learning process. So just like you plan out your day, you have a schedule of when you have to do certain things, right? Start with that. It doesn't have to be checking it all the time. Let's start off with checking when we wake up. Let's start with checking 2 hours post meal. Let's start with checking.
Wait, hold on. I have to write it down.
When we wake up, 2 hours post meal, meaning that all of your carbohydrates should have ran its course, the fat and protein should have caught up. So you will know then about how
if I can correct.
Yeah, well, not if you can correct, but if your pre-bolus was enough.
Okay.
All of those things about diabetes is like, it's something that I'm passionate about today, because I'm telling you, I hated it with a passion. And
I hate it with a passion.
I don't hate it anymore. But I did. I hated it with a passion.
Sometimes it goes away, my hatred, but then I go low, I mess up the math up, and then I'm like, here we go again.
Look, but you got to realize this, Evie, that you've done everything since 9 years old to keep you alive. You've done that. True. You've been keeping you alive, keeping you strong, mentally, physically, psychologically. Like there are so many different hormonal fluctuations, different ins and out, pulls, turns. You got family, you got friends, you got commitments, different things on top of every day having to manage this chronic health condition. And I tell people it's like being gifted an infant every single day, because you don't know what's going to make this baby cry. You got to learn it. You don't know.
Yeah.
And it's a new baby every day. Like,
yeah,
you got to, it's more so you got to learn you.
Imagine having to get to know a new baby every day.
Every day. And that's how diabetes is. Evie,
literally.
On that note, my sister, I truly enjoyed this experience and conversation I've had with you. Thank you for joining me on the Chronically Well podcast, where we have real conversations with community that needs to be heard, because my sister Evie, you are someone that truly needs to be heard. Thank you.
I appreciate you, Ron.
I appreciate you. Thank you.
And we'll be in touch about
everything.
Consultations. Yes. Everything always.
I got you. All right.
Namaste.
Namaste.
Bye.